a Michigan DUI lawyer, coming to you today from the 37th District Court in Warren, Michigan, up in Macomb on the east side. Today I wanted to talk to you about community caretaker function. Police are allowed to approach you and have contact with you. They're allowed to be good Samaritans. They can come up and say, hey, can we help you with your flat tire? Can we help you because you're parked along the side of the road? They are allowed to be good Samaritans, in other words. And when they're engaged in a community caretaker function, if they happen to stumble across evidence of criminality, say that you're drunk, you got a gun, or you've got drugs in the car that they can see once they approach your vehicle, you're in a lot of trouble because what they've engaged in is not a search. The community caretaker function extends further than that too, in that let's say that you're passed out inside of a vehicle and the officers say, well, he might have been having a medical emergency. And we've seen this abused by many officers over the years. But the bottom line is that the community caretaker function in itself is valid. So it doesn't offend the Fourth Amendment because they're not acting in the capacity of their law enforcement quest to uncover evidence when they do this. So it's something to be aware of, that there are exceptions to the search warrant requirement under the Fourth Amendment, and community caretaker function is one of them. So I'm back in my car. I wanted to add this. When you have officers who claim that they engaged in this community caretaker function, it always exposes the prosecution's case to a challenge at a motion hearing. So a motion hearing can result in an evidentiary hearing where the officers have to testify. And in cases where suspiciously video of the consent encounter occurs where they're just there to help, well, that exposes the case to a weakness and potentially dismissal of the charges, because if the officers are not being honest about their claim that they're engaged in a community caretaker function, and it turns out that instead they were actually trying to engage in an investigation, then all of a sudden the legal protections afforded by the Fourth Amendment do have an impact, and you potentially can win your case, whether it's a drunk driving or if it's possession of drugs or if it's possession of a firearm, something along those lines. It doesn't matter what the actual crime is. You're trying to suppress the evidence.